But
I like it.
now we got our association talk in. Now it's time. You had our appetizer. Now it's time to get the full meal here as we dig into our divisional NFL weekend. Here we got Rams at the Packers, 6.5, 45.5 on the total. We got Ravens at the Bills, lines around 1.5, 2, total 50, 51, depending on the place. We got Browns getting 10 at Kansas City. This total highest of the weekend has shot up. We're sitting around 56 right now. Bucks getting 3 at New Orleans. Probably what I would say is the premium matchup of the weekend there on Sunday afternoon. Total about 51. What do you got for me here as your early divisional look, play that you already either submitted or already fired on, or the one that you're looking at early in these divisional matchups?
So I have 2 plays. I have one AFC, one NFC. In the NFC, let's just start there. Let's go that premier game that you mentioned. We got Tom versus Drews Brees. We're not going to be able to see these guys much more. It might be Drews Brees' swan song we might be watching right now. I like this game under. I grabbed the 52, did steam a little 51. It's fine up to 50. When you get these divisional games, these teams they understand each other. They've already played twice. Again, don't buy into that narrative that's hard to beat a team 3 times, because it's not. It's actually easier to beat a team 3 times, and you'll hear the pundits saying that all week, and they're absolutely full of shit. So, but again, I'm looking at the total here. I have a Tampa Bay team. Tom, he absolutely struggles with pressure up front, and we saw that last week that the offense did not look great. Washington was able to slow him down with that 4-man pass rush. Saints will be able to do the exact same thing as we saw earlier in the year. And then, on the opposite side of the football, I'm not a big fan of the Saints offense. Obviously they have Kamara, who they had a difficult time even getting the ball to him in the first half last week. They did not look very good against a depleted Bears defense. You think you have 2 offenses here that are going to struggle to move the ball. 2 offenses. The defenses on the other side do have familiarity. So I'm looking at an under 52. I think that's way too high for a game, especially, again, the third game where they understand each other's tendencies and whatnot. So that's my favorite play. And then I do Bills -2. They should be a full score, especially at home. This Ravens team, their offense is absolutely terrible. So I don't think that they're going to be able to do anything. I have absolutely no hope. You can only score 20 on the Titans defense, which is the worst defense of any playoff team. You're not going to be able to score on the Bills either. And the Bills are not going to be stopped. So those are my 2 plays. What are you looking at, buddy?
You know what? Number one. First of all, I'm going to want to agree with you. I love that total under. I thought, this opened up around 49.5. I thought that was about, now that you've crossed over to 51.5, 52, I am with you 100% on that under. Agree with everything you said there. And can see, obviously, the Tampa offense can be a little bit more electric than Trubisky. But this, I think this is now a couple points high and like where you're at with that. For me, and the other one, now I'm as far as maybe I have a little sprinkle on Ravens money line, but I squared it up with a teaser today of taking the Packers to a pick and the Ravens up to a +8. I think you'll see. I've loved this Buffalo Bills team from the start, as everybody knows, and they've made a great run. I think this line's about right, but I really like, if you can get Baltimore over a score there in the teaser, and then the Packers down to a pick. And the other one is, I think this is, again, it's another total that's ticked up a little bit. I like it. This was around 54.5. I liked it a lot at the open. It's now 50. I still think you're going to see 57s with the Browns Chiefs over. The Browns secondary is absolutely abysmal. The secondary that they threw out there against the Steelers last week. Steelers got down in a huge hole, couple of lucky deflections. And don't get me wrong, was on the Browns last week, enjoyed the performance, but you saw it in the second half there. It was way, way too easy for the Steelers to move the football. Browns don't have any of their, number one corners healthy. The secondary really struggled, and now you're seeing the best quarterback ever in history, Patrick Mahomes, going up against with a full complement, and Andy Reid with a couple of weeks off. And I think the Browns can move it a little bit. They can run the ball. You saw Mayfield. Now he's getting. He really, over the last, 6 weeks, there was a couple of, the game against the Jets where he didn't have the receivers, but really started to play, he reached that form that a lot of people thought he could reach. I thought he was very good last week, even against Pittsburgh, even, when the Steelers were really making that comeback. You saw Mayfield make some critical throws, and they kept throwing the ball. He didn't just go into a shell and start running. Mayfield was great at that, so I like this over. It's already ticked up a little bit, but I think you'll see it even go a little bit higher. As it's just, I don't think you'll see a ton of stops in this game.
No.
Give me what now? Listen here. We've got Browns. As far as who do we see moving to the now. You like to play as far as side and total, but just give me winners for the weekend. Who do you see conference championship game or an early, like what you're seeing right now? If you had to pick one, give me who you think moves on, and give me who you think's winning the Super Bowl.
I really think that Tom is going to be able to pull this off, and I'm certainly not going to be betting on him against a Saints team that has shown that they can absolutely blow it at home in a champion or in a divisional round. So I do like Tom to grab that. Even he's a small underdog, but I do like Tampa to come in there, and then it's going to be hard to bet against the Packers going against whoever the hell is starting at quarterback for the Rams. I mean, Goff looked absolutely terrible. Their defense may single-handedly keep them in the game, but if the Packers can avoid the mistakes, there's no reason they shouldn't win by at least the cover the 6. I just worry about that defense maybe being able to keep them in it. On the other side, I like the chalk. Give me the Bills. Give me the Chiefs. I want to see that matchup. I think the Bills are the only team that has the firepower to be able to stay with that Kansas City offense. So I think the chalk prevails in the AFC. Give me a little underdog and Tom in the NFC. And ultimately, it's going to be Tom, and it's going to be Mahomes. So you're going to get a passing of the torch Super Bowl that I think the Chiefs would probably dominate, to be honest with you. But it's hard to bet against Mahomes. Like you said, the greatest of all time. He doesn't have the hardware yet, but he's got the skill set. So I think you're going to see maybe one of those the old school versus the new school, and it's not going to go well for Tampa. But again, that would be a great storyline as well. So I'm kind of rooting for that just for personal sake, sake of entertainment. What do you have? Who do you have?
No, I like it. I get it. If the Rams were healthier, I would think they were more live this week. But just some of the injuries, especially to the critical players that even if they play aren't going to be 100%. So, yeah, I'm with you as far as Green Bay being able to take it, out of the NFC. I just think the defense has improved. And you've seen Rodgers playing, the best football of his career. The Bucs having some questions on defense. The Saints having some questions with their offense. I think Green Bay is right now the most complete team heading into the NFC, and they'll get there. And I'm not going to bet against Kansas City. I think they did in the second half of the year. They really managed the year. When they had leads, they took it slow. And some people might have been overwhelmed by their performance, but I'm 100% not going to underestimate this Kansas City team because they were a little lackluster down the stretch where they didn't cover a lot of games. Some of their spreads were inflated, but I think they crank it up now just fine here, especially because they're by far the healthiest team of anybody left. They had very minor injuries throughout the year. They're able to get healthy. Now they've got a break. Now they've got the game planning with Andy Reid. So, yeah, I think this is it's a Chiefs for me, and hard to make a case against it as far as what they've got rolling into with this system. So